All right, sorry about that, guys. That other one was just going crazy. I kept like getting a back loop, hearing myself over and over again. So let's wait to see how many people chime back in. This will get going. Yeah, it was just the audio was insane. It was just I was hearing myself over and over again. Had to make sure I grabbed some headphones. Let me know in the comments, guys, if the sound is okay. You guys can hear me clearly. I just finished doing an hour of cardio, so my body heat is still kind of elevated. I'm sweating a little bit right now. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I had to, like I said, I had to restart that last one. It was just crazy. It was like a loop over and over and over, hearing myself. All right, so this is gonna be a live Q&A for you guys. See how many people decide to kind of tune in. Man, I just, I'm here to answer you guys' questions, whether it be on nutrition, training, all kinds of stuff. Open book. My goal is to just help as many people as possible. And yeah, yeah. So let's get at it, man. Do I have any hobbies outside of fitness and traveling? I like to play tennis. So I just got my racket back while I've been out here in Thailand, and I went to play like once so far, and it was really good. Just being able to, like, I don't know, man. It's like one of those things that you're able to just keep doing. And even the long break that I've had with playing, like my stroke was still there, felt good. Just the only thing is my cardiovascular is just kind of like on the low end. But yeah, I love to play tennis, man. I mean, I just love to travel, dude. What kind of proteins do I recommend? So for me personally, I like a plant-based protein. Um, Planta is one that I've used that I really really like. The flavor is really good. Um, it's by Ambrosia Collective. That's the name of the brand. But that's one of my favorite. I've used many, man. I've used MRM Veggie Elite. Their vanilla bean has been good, especially in my smoothies. So most of the time, I just make them in smoothies. But the Planta one that I had was really good, even in a shake. I just mix it in with some almond milk. Um, let's see what else. Whenever I was in Denmark, I was using the bulk powder protein. I really like that one. The flavor was really good. They have a wider range of different flavors too, and I like the mix. I was also using, let's see what else. Garden of Life is another good brand, but from what I've seen, there's some videos on this where they show that Garden of Life was like extremely high in heavy metals and stuff. So I mean, it's something that I have to continue to look into. And that's the one thing about those plant-based proteins is that, from what I've seen, when they test them, they're pretty high in heavy metals. So, of course, there's going to be people that really enjoy a high quality whey isolate. I just personally have not used a whey isolate in years. If I did a shake with them, it never really digested too well for me. So, but as far as good brands, I would say probably Species Nutrition is a good whey isolate brand. Man, I'm not too sure because it's not something that I really like consume myself. Um, Thanks, Kane. Thank you for being so kind. Sam, what do you think of fasting and cold snake diet? I think it's great, man. It can be implemented for especially for obese people, people that really need to lose a lot of weight in a short period of time. I have actually one of my clients that does a little bit of a fasting protocol. We'll do like 24 hours, 36 hours fasting, and then he'll do like an intermittent fast, or essentially where he'll have like a 6 hour eating period on the days that he is eating. And so far, he's done very well. We're like a week into it. He's already dropped 9 pounds. He's a pretty obese guy, so we have some work to do. But yeah, yeah. If you guys can do me a favor, if you're watching, can you give this video a thumbs up for me, please? I would really appreciate it, just to kind of just get it moving, get those thumbs up going. Um, what proteins do you recommend for meals? Sorry, for meals. Let's see. You can use a wider range of different protein sources. Fish, egg whites, eggs, lean beef. Chicken breasts, turkey breasts. you know, if your goal is to be able to drop body fat, then you're going to need some lean protein sources. You want to minimize the fat intake as much as possible. But if the goal is to be able to put on more mass, then you don't necessarily have to be so tedious when it comes to the fat intake. Of course, you want to be able to monitor it to make sure you're not consuming too much. Um, because I truly just don't believe that we need that much fat. Of course, we need enough fat to be able to essentially allow our bodies and our hormones to work properly, things of that nature. But other than that, I don't really see us needing so much fat. You know, we definitely need a good balance of macronutrients, you know, on a daily basis. Simply Deep, how's it going, brother? Good to have you in here. Have I had any injuries like a pec strain? Yeah, yeah. Actually, I have had a pec strain before. I did. I was doing. This happened whenever I was being stupid, ego lifting. I did 200-pound dumbbells over at Destination Dallas, and after that set, I strained my pec, and it actually, man, it was hurt for like 8 weeks. It took 8 weeks for it to finally basically heal again. So if there's a lesson to be learned from that, guys, do not ego lift. Make sure you're working within your own boundaries. You know, because here's the thing, guys, is that you're going to continue to progress over time as long as you're working within yourself. And, you know, you'll get better and better. Just stick to the program and allow things to essentially build on their own. You know, of course, you need to push yourself, but don't overdo it. It's not worth it. You're going to have setbacks, more setbacks than, you know, than anything moving forward, basically. What are my thoughts on TRT? If you need it, use it. It's that simple. You know, you can get a test done. You know, see if you're suffering from low testosterone. A lot of these bodybuilders, especially that, you know, they're using different, you know, hormones, exogenous hormones at an early age, like myself. You know, I tend to not sit there and rely on the drugs all the time. I'll come off completely and just stay off. And, you know, of course, I don't. It's probably not the best thing to do, but I don't really like to live by the needle. You know, even if but the smartest thing, in my opinion, if you're going to continue to use this stuff long term, then of course doing TRT would definitely be beneficial. And then of course, if you're an older gentleman and you need testosterone replacement therapy, again, go to the doctor, get the test done, see where you're at, and allow them to basically make that call for you. But I don't see a problem in it. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a reason why these doctors are prescribing it. You know, it's a medicine that can be used properly. Of course, if when you're overdoing it and you're essentially, you know, what's the word, abusing it, then there's issues. But TRT in itself, I don't think is a problem. Let's see. How's it, man? I'm good, man. I'm just it's 9:45 in the morning here, and I woke up early, got an hour of cardio done. If you guys were on the last live stream, you heard that I was, you know, I'm gonna start prepping for a show. So, you know, I just want to like try to, you know, implement some different ways of doing things. I'm gonna, you know, basically carb cycle my way through. Really, you know, follow like a higher protein diet. I'm consuming roughly 300 grams of protein a day right now, and my carb intake is like it's fairly low, about 150, 200 grams. So when my basically what I'm trying to do is deplete throughout the week, have some days where I carb up. But if I can handle the low calories, then I'm just going to keep pushing it and see, you know, see how lean I can get as you know, as fast as possible. So it'll definitely be interesting. I'm going to be filming these days and let you guys in on all this. Absolutely, Sam. Hey, Jocelyn, I am doing well. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing well yourself. LBN Air, your motivation is amazing. Have you ever thought about doing, you know, I've done some motivational speaking in some way. I did a free little speaking engagement when I was in Portugal. You know, I just do this kind of stuff, live Q&As. But you know, I love, my biggest thing is honestly is just to motivate people and really get them to be their best version of themselves. Because it's like, you know, we have to understand that the power is within us. You know, you are a powerful being. You know, and once you realize this, then I feel like the sky's the limit. Honestly, it's like you have to be able to believe in yourself. And because, you know, whenever self-doubt creeps in is when a lot of things tend to like kind of run astray. You know, this happens to myself too. I'm not nowhere near perfect when it comes to all this. You know, I've had moments in my life to where I've had down times, and you know, I allowed self-doubt. Like last year, man, whenever I was prepping for the show, like just seeing how my body wasn't reacting the same way like it normally would for me, that self-doubt definitely creeped in. And to be honest, I think that was worse for me than any other part of the prep. It was just the fact that I started losing belief in myself, and it just, yeah. So it happens to me. But at the end of the day, it's like we have to be able to maintain that as much as possible. There's different things that you can practice, whether that be wake up. Like for me, my meditation practice is to get up and go for a walk. So I'll just go walk for an hour and just, sweat, listen to an audiobook, get out of my mind, and just, start focusing on positive thoughts and thinking good things. And from there, that will lead into the rest of your day and allow for more positivity to flow. If you get up and the first thing you think about is like you hate this or you hate that or you have a negative thought, then that shit will creep in for the rest of the day, and it's hard to get out of that. So you have to make sure that you're focusing on that. And by me telling you guys this is me telling myself as well, so is that I can remember to continue to think positively, and continue to always have that flowing through my mind, because it's important, it's huge, it's everything. And I guarantee you, once you're able to make that switch, it's like things start to happen for you. Do you know much about benzodiazepine withdrawal? I'm tapering off Xanax. Man, I have no clue on pharmaceutical drugs. I'm so sorry, man. I don't know if I can help you there. Maybe some CBD might help. I heard that, things like that with anxiety and different stuff, CBD is huge, huge benefit to people. Adam Lindley, respect from UK. I appreciate you, brother. How to increase the size of your thighs? Number one, train your legs hard. If you can squat, squat. Hit them hard. Focus on building your strength. Make sure you train with intensity, and continue to progress over time. That's the key, is you have to make sure that you're continuing to try to work to get stronger, get better, whether, and make sure that your form is on point. So my favorite exercises for legs are going to be squat, lunges, leg press. Uh, Man, what else we got? We have split squats. These are going to build these things. And if you want to build the strength within your glutes, do some hip thrusters, things like that, man. That's what's going to really build that base and get your fucking quads to grow. Bobby, my man, good morning, brother. I'll be seeing you later today. D Nice, your videos with Bobby are amazing. He's such an intelligent guy, for real. Hey, you hear that, Bobby? We'll definitely make sure to have the camera later today, and we'll film for you guys today. Thank you, D, for that. I'm glad you enjoyed those videos. I know it was like triggering a lot of people, but at the end of the day, it's about us being our open and honest self, period. Not really pleasing anyone, and just focusing on being able to just, do what we do and give you guys our experiences, our perspective. I guess that's why it's called Bobby's Perspective. How do you keep your liver healthy consuming so much protein in a day? Well, I think honestly, like the protein is being filtered out through the kidneys. But as far as like just keeping your organs healthy in general, like you're not, like, for me, I'm not consuming high amounts of protein all the time. I'm flowing through my protein intake. So like for 2 years straight, basically, I consumed a very low protein diet. I was doing like 100 to 120. I mean, there were some days where I wouldn't consume any protein source at all. So I was probably getting roughly 40 to 60 grams of protein in a day. So you can fast from your protein, but of course, when you do that, you have to make sure that at some point you're being able to basically reintroduce this protein, especially if you're trying to look to build muscle. You need that protein to be able to build the muscle. It's something that, I sat there and, I tested out these low protein diets and stuff, and they work to a degree. But the one thing that I found was whenever I decided to kind of cut down and drop body fat, that the lack of protein in the diet definitely makes things a lot harder. But just cycle it. You could cycle in and out and it'll be just fine. And you're not going to run into any basically issues of maintaining your muscle mass and stuff. Our bodies are extremely resilient. Let's see. Sam, do you think you'll go full carnivore or include plant foods? Do you believe some vegetables are unhealthy, like most carnivores believe, anti-nutrients? Okay, so with this question, would I ever go full carnivore? Here's the thing. When bodybuilders essentially go zero carb, that's essentially carnivore diet, right? I've done zero carb days or low carb days myself in the past. I don't think they're necessarily, I have to do them, but if in some point during this dieting phase that I do, if I have to go zero carb, of course I would do it, just to make sure that I'm able to get the results that I'm looking for. I don't necessarily feel like plants, like I'm sure there's going to be some plants they do have these anti-nutrients and stuff. It is true. But I feel like if we consume them excessively, then it becomes a problem. But if we're just eating, little bits and stuff and allowing just, a healthy amount to be in our diet, I don't see there being an issue at all. Because, growing up, I've eaten plenty of rice and beans. I've eaten plenty of vegetables, and these different things that they say have these things like the oxalates and the lectins and so and so forth. And I'm a perfectly healthy human being. So I really feel like with anything, if you overdo it, that's where the problem lies, is the overconsumption of certain foods. The ASMR. Oh boy, cracking the egg. Should definitely do some more of those. What motivation do I listen to? Oh man, that's tough. Man, I read so many books. If you email me, bro, I'll screenshot you a lot of the books that I have on my on my Audible. That way, because there's just so many, man. I go through so many. I just love to listen to stuff, different perspectives and stuff. Would you say someone like myself who has a few physical limitations and thinking about doing a show? What would you say to someone like myself? Okay, what are your physical limitations, Marian? If you can give me that, I can give you an answer. Sergio, morning, brother. Where do you recommend for building mass on men over 40? Full body workouts 3 days a week, isolation workouts. You're vegan. Okay, so if you're a newbie in the gym, some full body workouts, you can even go every day, but you have to make sure you're limiting your training, right? So it's like you don't want to push yourself and essentially, you know, stifle your CNS, your central nervous system. If you go too hard, then of course you have to minimize the training. So let's say if you do full body workouts 3 days a week, that works. But if you want to build muscle, it's like the more often you train, the better. The more you're stimulating the muscle, the better. But any sort of training as a newbie is going to help you. Definitely, man. But I like full body training. When I'm older and I'm outside of the bodybuilding realm, I'll really dive into some of these other things. But while I'm competing and stuff, I like to kind of just stick with the basics and do what I do. I feel it's worked for me over the last 15 years. I'm just going to continue to do it. But I do understand that different training protocols definitely do help as well. Fernando Flores, what is your opinion on SARMs? Are they worth it? To be honest, I have no opinion on SARMs. I had a client that ran some SARMs and he ended up in the hospital. His kidneys were like pretty, getting messed up. So, yeah. So that's just, I personally, if there's not a lot of information to back them up, I just personally wouldn't consume them. I don't really know much about them. There's not a lot of information back there. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it, honestly. I felt that too. It's so real. You both are honestly the truth. Subscribe to channels. I watch your video. Thank you, D. I really appreciate you subscribing. Sam, absolutely. Bobby, all plants we eat nowadays are a couple of hundred years old at best. That man-made food we don't need in particular. For sure. And I do agree with you. I do agree with you. But at the same time, I think that if we consume some, it's not going to necessarily be like so terrible. I really feel like we still need like basically foods that are rich in antioxidants and stuff that help kind of, like I talked to you about on your video, brother, that help kind of essentially remove some of the free radicals out of the body. I think that that's still a key in some way, which is why I still like to consume, different fruits and stuff. Ever since I've gone from being vegan, I've definitely consumed more like animal foods than I was, because it's just the way things have been. But yeah, I've had some balance. I still eat rice, for a carb source. I have bananas. I love like different tangerines and stuff. Yeah, just I mix it up. I feel like mixing it up is still okay. Low vision and hard of hearing, and walk with a leg brace. So is your goal to do like a men's physique? I think men's physique would still be okay. Just your vision and the hearing part really has nothing to do with the training. But if you don't have an ability to train legs as hard, then yeah, men's physique will still be something you can do, man. Just remain positive, kick ass in the gym, stay focused, make sure your diet is on point, and just continue to work through progression. How old am I, and how do you remain so positive? I am 29 years old. Here's the thing, man, is that I'm human just like everybody else. I go through my phases in life where, I can be positive and I can also have negative thoughts creep into my mind. Whenever I was, this is something I really don't talk about a lot because it was just like, it was hard for me to speak about. But like whenever I was dealing with my marriage, I don't even, damn, this was like 3 years. Time flies, man. I think that was one of the most negative points in my life. And, I feel like during that time, my life really just kind of just was at a standstill. It was hard for me because, again, it's like once you allow that self-doubt to creep in, man, it's like, it's hard to get out of it, and it's like, you basically have to be able to shut things off and just, get back to your own place. As a Christian, some, people would basically resort back to Christ, and things like that. I love to read the Bible, and I also, I'm a very, like, again, I just look back into these older books and these, you know, different things. And I look into these things. I look into what Jesus taught and, what the Buddha taught and just different things like that. And, just focus, and you have to get back to that center, get back to your own self and understand, again, like I was talking about earlier, that we are the powerful beings. Here's the thing about these quote unquote elites is that, they're essentially scared of us. They're scared for us to realize that about who we truly are, and it's like, I can sit here and express this to you, and I can hope that you can get it and understand that you are one beautiful, powerful being. And that's just where the mindset needs to lie. It's like, as long as you keep it there, you'll continue to remain in that place. I feel like that's the key, really. Marion, female bikini. Oh, for sure. Well, see, like, you don't need to train like legs so much. Of course, you have to, but just do your best. At the end of the day, you need to just do your best. If you can do your best, then things will be great for you. I promise you. But that's where you need to focus on, just doing your best, being your best self, and, and let the chips fall where they may. Who's my life hero? I don't think I have one, honestly. I really don't think I have one. I feel like there's a lot of positive people in this world. There's just people that have been able to speak a good positive message. Um, you know, I just feel like, man, I don't really think I have one. It's hard for me to answer that question. I feel like, here's one thing. I feel like everybody in our life comes into our lives for a reason, right? And they're here to teach us something. So whether it be like, we go through something bad, like a bad relationship, right? That relationship is there to teach us a particular lesson. Whether it be to treat that, to learn to treat someone better, to treat yourself better, um, you know, or, we go through instances where we need to basically, it's just learning to be stronger in a way, whether it be with mental strength or spiritual strength or physical strength, a lot of things. And that same goes with the people that are in our lives. And I feel like everyone is our hero then, man. Honestly, it's like each person is there. It's like, I don't know, everyone's a messenger, I feel. But I don't have a particular person that I would say is a hero for me. Do you think any type of pickles are considered healthy? I think pickles are, they're just cucumbers that are essentially, put into like a different, like a solution. Um, I think over consuming pickles wouldn't necessarily be good because that's a lot of sodium. You have to make sure that you have a good sodium to potassium balance. It should be like 1 to 2. So 1 to 2 potassium. So as long as you maintain that, then yeah, I would. But pickles are good. I like pickles. I eat pickles all the time. What should be the ratio of carb, protein, fats in order to increase muscle mass and maintain abs? So I feel like this is gonna differ for a lot of people. So it just depends on where your metabolism is and how many calories you're being able to consume. So as far as protein is concerned, on a mass gaining phase, you can actually bring your protein down. So like when I'm gaining mass, I don't focus so much on protein. I get in maybe 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram. Focus on kilograms, not pounds, okay? And which is going to be far less than anyone pretty much consumes. And you can get away with that. And then from there, you'll fill in the rest of those calories. So like as far as like fat is concerned, again, I'm not a big believer in consuming too much fat. I think we need just enough for our hormones to be able to function properly. So I would get in maybe 15 to 20% of your daily caloric intake through fat, and then the rest will be carbohydrates. But what you're going to want to do is make sure that you get your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate. You can go online and figure out, find a BMR calculator, do the numbers in from there, and basically just kind of work from there. That way you figure it out and you'll figure out your calories. Uh, 0.8 grams of protein, is it too little? Nah, as long as you're consuming enough calories, you can be able to maintain muscle mass. I don't feel like maybe you won't probably be able to build so much, but you can definitely maintain as long as you're eating enough. But that's a lot of food you have to eat, especially from carbohydrate sources. Can you get away with training legs 3 times a week? For sure, but just make sure that your total training capacity is smaller. So like whenever I train a body part twice a week, I'll make sure that my total sets for that particular training period is going to be less than I would if I were doing it 1 day a week. So let's say if I did legs 1 day a week, then I would probably do, in between 20 to 24 sets within that particular day. I mean, I know it's overkill, but that's what you'll end up doing. But if you're going to try to maximize more days, then maybe you would do, say, 10 working sets each particular day. And that way you get a bit an increase of volume over time. And that will definitely help you with increasing muscle mass and bringing up certain body parts. Let's see. With your upcoming show, will you consider making a YouTube series documenting your preparation? 100%, bro. That's exactly what I plan on doing. Matter of fact, I'm filming today. So today will be the first day that I'll have up for this guiding phase and just showing you guys what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, how I'm going about it, and so on. Angie, hello. It's good to have you on. I haven't heard from you in a while. I hope you've been well. D Nice, Jonathan, do you have children, or if not, do you want kids in the future? Yes, I knew. I saw that light in you, Jesus. You know about the word, the Bible. Absolutely. I try not to offend people, but I definitely read the Bible. I definitely am a follower of Christ. I don't necessarily call myself Christian because, Jesus wasn't a Christian. He just was him. But I definitely follow his word and his understanding. I believe he was here for a reason, just like I said. But do I want children? 100%. I would definitely like some kids. I don't know exactly when this is going to happen. This is something that me and Ann have to eventually talk about at some point. We talk about it often, but who knows? Who knows when it's going to happen? I don't want to be an old dad though. I don't want to wait another 10 years to have kids. So hopefully, probably within the next 5 years or so. But I think I want, I don't know, 3. I've talked about 4, but she's like, I don't know, that's kind of overkill. But I definitely want a few. I think I want a basketball team. When is my next show? So I'm anticipating my next show to be in July. It's going to be the end of July. It's the USA's in Vegas. I don't know the exact date, so I'm not going to be able to tell you that there. I've had 2 questions answered already, so feel free to skip me. I'm going across, man. So how many days a week am I in the gym, and how long are my sessions? So right now I'm training 6 days a week, or it's a 6-day split. So I'll go 3 days on, 1 day off, or even on that 1 day off, I may just do some cardio, do like an active rest day, and then I'll do an additional 3 days. So it's a push, pull, leg split. The first 3 days, I'm training hard, heavy, focusing on hypertrophy. And in the last 3 days, I'm going to go high reps. I'm basically doing 3 sets of 15 with each exercise. It's definitely a humbling training split. I'll actually have these videos up coming on the rest of the week. I'm going to finish off the series for the 6-day split, and then I'm going to work on basically creating an ebook for you guys. Y'all can purchase it. It'll be super cheap, like $10. But that way you have it all aligned for you guys, and y'all can follow it to a T. And of course, just let me know what you guys think about it. Fuck your credentials. Unsubbed. Cool. Bye. I don't even know why you're here if you're going to write that. Jyothi Das. Hello, Jonathan. Presently, I have been coming on a plant-based diet. It is actually necessary to consume animal-based foods for better health, not an ethical perspective, but health perspective. See, from a health perspective, there are different vitamins and nutrients that are only present in animal foods, like vitamin K2, vitamin A, there's EPA, DHA. Your body's ability to be able to convert some of these other vitamins into basically the absorbable form is extremely difficult. Like, for example, beta carotene, it's like a very low percentage of your body being able to convert that into its absorbable form. Same thing with vitamin K1, to be able to convert into vitamin K2. There's a whole list of this stuff. So I mean, if you want optimal health, in my opinion, even having some animal foods into your diet will definitely be far more beneficial than having none, because and then it removes the necessity to have supplementation. are supplements beneficial if, if used properly and stuff? Absolutely. I don't feel like using supplements in general are bad, because I'm a bodybuilder. I take certain supplements. I use citrulline for like as a pump product. I'll use creatine to help with, basically what it does is help increase ATP production. And it does work within the gym. It helps me get a better pump. It helps me with my training. These are things that I know definitely work. So yeah, I'm not against supplementation at all, but if you have a proper diet, you don't need subs. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. That's my stance. Let's see. KC, how you doing? Angie, yeah, I just answered the show question. I'm sorry to hear about your uncle. My condolences to you and your family. I really hope things are well. I hope you're well. Honestly, I understand how that can be a very, very hard time. Do I get enough sleep when training? If not, do you not? Some days I'll do not. I'll basically just go off how I feel. So if I'm tired and I'm home, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna take a quick nap, whether it be an hour, whatever. But most days I get pretty good amount of rest. My sleep has been good lately, very good. I'll probably get really tired around 12, maybe 1 o'clock. Since I'm out here in Thailand, I'm pretty much by myself most of the time. My schedule is just on my time. I make sure that I really emphasize on getting back to my clients as soon as possible. So that's basically what I do. Is like, it's easy out here for me, because like in the morning and the evenings, I'm able to get back to my clients relatively easy. And I'll get up pretty early, get this cardio in, and I just use that time for myself. But I do make sure that I'm getting in a good, 6 to 8 hours minimum a day. I'd be a great father, man. Heck yeah, dude. I know that I'd be a good dad, dude. I cannot wait. Like they're gonna be like my little best friends. It's just, yeah, it's gonna be so much fun. What is my normal training split? I was doing a mountain dog training split for a very long time. So how he structures it is like legs, chests and delts, back, and then you'll go legs, chest and delts, back, arms, and like I was doing like a 7 day split. Um, that worked pretty well, and I had, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Honestly, what Mountain Dog taught me was like to be able to increase that workload. Where before I feel like I wasn't, even though I was getting a lot of progress done, ever since I implemented more training and using the Mountain Dog type training split, like man, it just gave me a whole different perspective on working out, and that's when I feel like my physique really took off to a whole nother level, and I really started putting on more muscle. Can anyone start bodybuilding at the age of 29? Of course, man. Like, dude, some of the best in the world started late. So absolutely, especially if you've already been training. I've had friends that started competing in their 30s and turned pro. So definitely, man. If you need some help, I do help with coaching, contest prep coaching, and all this stuff. Just hit me up on my website, shoot me an email. You can fill out the questionnaire on my website, and I can always get back to you. So if that's something that you're looking into, give me a holler, guys. Jofi, I love your content. I've been following you for a year. Stay happy, healthy. Thank you, my brother. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Angie. I know I'm going to kill it. My goal is to finally get this pro card. I definitely like just knowing the way I'm going about it now is going to be so much easier for me, so better. I mean, I'll basically be able to anticipate the results that I'm going to get. It's way, yeah. I'm so confident right now. It's definitely different from what I felt last year. Demetrius, I was done. See, as a vegan, I just felt like I just didn't have it together for me anymore, man. It made me feel so, I don't know, it just made me feel like I couldn't do it, man. I didn't have that confidence and belief in myself. And it's like once I was able to let go of that certain ideology, man, it just made me feel way better. I finally got my confidence back. I felt like I almost turned back into a new man. Like it was crazy. Um, but yeah, since I have that confidence and I feel so good, my training has been on point, my sleep is on point, everything is on point. I can't just stop midway. It's been a dream of mine since I was 15 years old to be a pro. Like I should have been pro years ago, but I've let my mind get in the way. I'm no longer going to do that. I'm just going to make sure that I hone in and fucking get the shit done. July 27th. So there you go, guys. July 27th is the show date. Kids are fun and life changing in the best ways. Congratulations, Jocelyn. 2 years old in June. Amazing. See, I can't wait. Honestly, like I said, I feel like they'll just be my little best friends, and they're gonna be able to work with them and have fun. They can do push-ups and stuff with me. Do you have merchandise? How can I get your email? for the motivational tracks. Okay, so I will leave in the description my information. I'll have, usually what I have is like my Instagram, all my social media platforms linked down there, my website. Just go onto my website. There's like a little questionnaire form. Just put in who you are, what, talk about this live stream, and I'll get back to you. You'll have to enter your email in there so it can easily allow me to converse with you. When you transition back to eating animal foods, did you notice a change from cognitive standpoint, mental clarity? 100%. See, this is the thing. When you're dealing with some of these issues, like I was dealing with digestion problems, like I was dealing with diarrhea, endless constant diarrhea, but I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to feel like it was a problem, right? Because I thought that I felt okay, but these things do happen and they're there. But it's like you almost don't want to admit it to yourself. Same thing with like brain fog. And I'll have Ann come on with me one day and confirm all of these things. Like I was dealing with brain fog. Like I would wake up some days and I was just like, I would tell her, I'm like, man, babe, I cannot fucking think. I'm like, what is going on? But it's like you don't know what's really happening. You don't understand how this really feels because you're stuck in this one way of thinking. You don't know if you can go back to this way and see whether or not this was the problem. Was the diet truly the problem? So once I, decided to make this leap to basically fix the digestion problems, the cognitive function, like it was just like almost like a wake up call. Like I was just like, wow, like where has my mind been this whole time? So of course I was able to, function pretty well and be myself for the most part. But it's like there was definitely a piece missing from me that I just couldn't understand what was the issue. And yeah, it definitely made a difference. And I've seen many cases of this happening as well. Um, yeah, but that is my personal experience. There's going to be people that, they say they're thriving and they're doing well. Man, I believe them. I believe them. But for me personally, that's what happened. And again, this is just me being open and honest about the situation. Rahu, love you, bro. You're my inspiration. Hey, love from India. I hope you guys are well out there in India, man. Thank you so much for the compliment, Angie. You are an amazing person. I'm glad to be a part of your group on Facebook as well. How long did it take you to really nail down the mind to muscle connection? So I've been training for bodybuilding since I was 15 years old. I did my first bodybuilding show at 16. So I got this stuff down years ago, back when I was in basically a teenager, 15 years old. It didn't take much. It's just, you have to just go in and come in focus. Focus on the contraction. Put your mind to wherever the body part that is that you're training. And that's how you're gonna basically be able to create the best results out of it. This isn't powerlifting. Powerlifting is moving away from point A to point B. With bodybuilding, you have to have that connection, because if you don't have that connection, you're not utilizing those muscles to their fullest potential. And that's what you need to focus on. So it didn't take much for me to do it. I feel like everyone has the power to do that. Just have at it, man. Get in there and get that mind deep in there, and I guarantee you start to feel it. And the pump will be amazing, guaranteed. Are you going to make any more videos with Brian Gonzalez? Yes, sir. When I get back to the States, he will be my training partner. So I have plenty of videos. He's actually doing the USAs as well. So we'll be prepping together. It'll be nice. Jothy, I am having bowel and digestive issues when consuming a plant-based diet. So please tell me how to fix it. Oh, fix your digestion. If you're open to consuming animal-based foods, all right, here's the way to do it. You have to remove all the high fiber foods. So if you're eating tons of plant matter, if you're eating tons of like beans and lentils and all this stuff that have high amounts of insoluble fiber, got to cut it out. I would stick to things like rice, cream of rice, basically a starch that is very binding. And of course, you want to make up some of the calories, you got to have a protein source. So, use whatever lean protein source that you have available to you in whatever country you are, and, make up those calories in that way. Pull out those fibers, because this is what your doctor is going to tell you to do. You go to the doctor, they're going to tell you to do this exact thing. And, yeah, and I guarantee you it's going to fix itself literally within a few days' time. But of course, this is your decision. You're eating a plant-based diet. You want to be able to fix this and switch it another way. There we go. That's my advice to you, my friend. Rahul, how do you manage your earnings? Because bodybuilding is a very costly game. So listen, I've been coaching people, athletes and stuff for 9 years now. This is how I make a living. I help people all over the world with their nutrition. It doesn't have to be for contest preps. It can just be for general health purposes. I also help people with, building muscle, those types of programs, training programs. I also write meal plans. I don't just do coaching. I have all that available. The way to contact me is essentially go through my website. The link will be in the description box. Hit me up there. And if you're interested in it, yeah, this is what I do though. That's all I do is I just coach people. And I'm damn very good at what I do. I get good results. How do you manage? Okay, is breath of fresh air because there are too many people who take time. Yeah. Again, thank you guys. Y'all are amazing. I'm afraid of heights, and to see you focus on conquering your fear in your video was motivating. I'll be making a prayer for you. Continued success. My man, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. If you're afraid of heights, man, you have to face that fear and just go after it. Just like with any other fear you might have. I think that's the only way to be able to overcome these things. And that's how I go about life. I was scared to travel for years, but and then I just made it a point. One day I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna come out here and I'm just gonna live my life. I'm gonna do the best that I can. As long as I have my cell phone and my laptop with me, I know that I can work anywhere around the world. So yeah, I made that decision and here I am. I didn't intend to be here for this long, but it's like, why not? What do I have to come home to right now? I made sure I got rid of all these like crazy expenses that I had just so I can be able to live freely. I live out of my suitcase, and you know, but say that also goes with the fear of heights. I was like, you have to jump, just take that leap of faith, do what it is. You know, you can do the same, my friend. You can do the same. You too suffer from diarrhea on a vegan diet. Uh, I just mentioned that about how to fix the diarrhea. You have to remove the fiber. You have to remove the fiber. Fill it up, fill those calories up with starchy forms of carbs, and your stool will bind up. That's essentially what's going to happen. Sam, I had serious health issues 3-year vegan period too, and the exact same thing happened to me. When you ignore your own health for an ideology, it is crazy. I really think so, man. At the end of the day, when you actually do the research and find out that there is no moral high ground, whether you're vegan or not vegan, the Bible says that these foods that we have are available to us, as long as you give thanks for the food, So I feel like everything is meant for us to consume. We can't sit here and act like these foods weren't here. If eating meat and different fish and all this stuff was actually that unhealthy as some of these people want to make it out to be, we would have died long ago. Plain and simple. We would have all eradicated ourselves. Uh, Thank you, Angie. I really appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys are watching, can you give the video a thumbs up for me? It's really nice. What else you guys have? Let's see. Thank you, Sam. You guys are seriously, y'all are awesome, man. Thank you for the compliments. I try to just be my best self and just give you guys, my honest opinion on things, and just yeah, just be the loving, caring, kind person in this world. Um, Rahul, you do 2 body parts a daily with abs. Exercise, okay? Yeah, 100%, 100%. I'm doing push pull legs, so push chest, shoulders, triceps. That's 3 body parts in one day. Abs, you want to be able to train. You can train as often as possible when you train abdominal, your core. That's, I feel, one thing. If we want to talk about bodybuilding, there's one aspect of training that people simply ignore in bodybuilding. That is their core training. You wonder why these people have freaking this whole bubble gut bonanza, like Louis Marco would call it. Why that is even a thing? It has nothing to do with the drugs. These people, bodybuilders, have been using drugs for I don't even know how long, for years, decades, and the issue never arose with having this bubble gut stuff. What happens is many people think that, okay, I'm going to get shredded, I'll have abs no matter what. Absolutely true. But if you ignore the core training, if you ignore doing things like vacuums, which basically work the transverse abdominis, I'm at fault at this too. Like, I ignored this stuff because I got into the whole bodybuilding ideology and thinking that you didn't need to do it. But and honestly, by ignoring this stuff, the bubble guts does happen because of this sheer volume of food that we're consuming every day. Your abdominals basically are pushed out, and they basically get used to that position. So that's basically what happens. And then, of course, you gain muscle everywhere else. Your body will start to compensate from different ways, and it'll just get stuck, and that's where you run into these problems. Um, I don't even know that. I just went off on a tangent, but I just figured I could throw that in there. Zuki, awesome dude. You're a great inspiration. Appreciate you, brother. G Speed, can max results be achieved with only 300 milligrams of test? It depends on what your max results are. If you're using 300 milligrams of test, yeah, you can. You're still going to be able to get crazy results. Crazy results. Levent, good to see you, my friend. How you feel is what's important. All life is precious to me. 100%, man. You have to make sure you're feeling good and you're healthy. At the end of the day, like we have to make sure that we're happy in this lifetime, because if you're not happy, then you can't, like, you're like, here's the thing, if you become a negative person, that energy starts to flow off to different people. You'll start basically, like, these people will start to almost kind of want to stay away from you. Like, no one wants to be around a negative person. You have to focus on good, just being good and being positive, because that is what's going to it's going to attract other people to you. And again, more good things will happen from there. But our health is number one. If you're not healthy, man, then it's like, what's the point of living? Jothi, Jonathan, as a beginner, how should I approach a workout in the gym? Full body, push, pull, legs, upper, lower, single muscle. Love from India. Man, it can be anyway. If you're literally just now starting to train, I think full body is great, because in that way you're stimulating your whole entire body. You can do, how I like to see is, like, do one working set per exercise, hit everything on your body. You can go into the gym every day and do this, right? And that'll really stimulate some growth. Or you can do, where, if you, I guess the reason why I wouldn't necessarily go about like a body split, like a bro split, is because if you overdo one particular body part, you're going to be extremely sore. Like, say you just go in there and just fucking go and trash your legs, and you're not going to be able to walk for like 10 weeks or 2 weeks, right? So go ahead, hit everything, barely kind of get that stimulation, build yourself up, and then if you want to move on to a different type of split, emphasize on certain things, you can. But I think total body would be a great way for a beginner. If you need a workout split, hit me up on my website. The link will be in the description box below. That way I can create a personalized workout program for you to help you, brother. Truth Training, keep up the solid work, my brother. Much love from Chicago. Much love, man. Much love out here in Thailand, bro. Hi, Jonathan. When are you coming to Australia? Jason, my man, I'm hoping to come to Australia soon. It would definitely be, it would be nice if I can come out there within this trip while I'm out here in Asia. I just got to see how things work. I have to make sure that I'm still being able to do my training and prep and all this stuff while I travel. So I have a buddy of mine that lives out there that said I can come stay with him. So I just gotta. Oh, Angie, by the way, where in Australia are you from? I have a client that's in Brisbane, and then I have a friend that I believe is near Brisbane as well that said I can come stay with him. So if you're near Brisbane, I would definitely love to meet you. Melbourne, where is Melbourne to Brisbane? I don't know, have any idea how Australia is, but I'm definitely coming. I'm definitely coming. Just keep that in mind. It is my goal to travel everywhere around the world. I want to be able to experience every culture, experience, just all of it, man. Because you don't know how people are and why people are certain ways until you actually put yourself in their shoes. And I don't like to go as tourists, as a tourist. I like to make sure I'm in there. So about hour 12, one, yeah, that's not too bad. Not too bad. I guess that's a pretty good distance if you're having to fly and it's still that long. 1 to 2 hours. Got you. Got you. All right, guys. Do we have any more questions? Throw them at me. I'm here to help you guys. I'll be on here for quite a bit. Sir, what should be the approach to cardio for health benefits and fat loss? For health benefits and fat loss are going to be two different things. Fat loss, of course, is your diet needs to be on point. You have to make sure that you're in a caloric deficit. You have to make sure that your diet is going to support fat loss. I'm not, I like to do a carb cycling type nutritional programming. Um, Yeah, that's my way. I don't really recommend keto, but that's just me. I know there's people that are keto zealous. They love keto. I'm just not a keto fan. But that's number one. And then of course, ah, let me know when the live feed gets back on. I don't know how the feed is not working. Okay, cool. All right, we're good then. We're good. Yeah, but so your cardio, the cardio would basically just make up the rest of the difference of the calories you need to burn in order to maintain that sort of deficit to, for fat loss. But as far as like just heart health and health in general, just doing some, like I would say like 30 minutes a day is great. It's great for health. What else we got? What else we got? Yeah. I love this little conversation that Angie and D are over here talking about, just, sticking around positive people. You know, that's one thing I'll continue to emphasize is like, man, always keep those around. Keep the positive people around you. Some people that are essentially going to bring life back into your life, and have something to offer as opposed to taking away. That's another lesson that I've learned in life is, when you have people that are essentially just take, take, take and no return, like it drains your energy. It really, really does. So you have to make sure you have that balance that, the people that you do have around you are both giving and taking. It's definitely an even. That comes with all relationships, whether it be friendships, your girlfriend or significant other, things like that. Yeah. How to grow a fitness YouTube channel? Good question. Man, to be honest, I just focus on ways of just helping people. You if you have to bring content that's going to benefit others, like of course with my vlogs and stuff, I'm just like showing my days and how I'm doing things and the kind of stuff that I'm around. But as far as like, you know yeah, it's just you have to be able to bring value, and be likable, of course. I'm sure like not everyone's gonna like me, and I almost guarantee that goes with anyone. But yeah, just the content you bring is like I said, just value. I feel like I'm attracted to positive people, and because that's the kind of energy that I love, and I want to continue to bring back into my life. Um, but yeah, what is it that you intend to bring? What are you going to be talking about? What is the information that you're going to be putting forth? And hopefully, again, it's like it's helping people in some sort of way, whether it be with like just positivity in their attitudes, or you say fitness, getting motivational workouts, fucking going strong, showing people how to eat right, be on point with things. And I'm not gonna lie, I fail to do these things sometimes. I just kind of like sometimes I'll just make content because I love to make certain things, and they don't necessarily always have a purpose, perhaps, like I said with my vlogs. But for the rest, is just simply bringing some sort of value. I think that's the key to building some sort of a successful channel. Truth training. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Come to Byron Bay, not far from Brisbane. Lots of local organic farms and awesome produce. Nothing but beaches. Oh man. All right. Hey, I'm saving it. I'm gonna make sure. But of course, I'm gonna keep it. We'll all keep in touch on here on the channel. I hope you guys continue to tune into these live streams. I'm looking to do them either like every other day or at least 3 times a week. That's my goal. But yeah, I'll definitely keep that in mind. If you don't have any issues with dairy or lactose intolerant allergies, is it okay to consume dairy to stay healthy? Or is dairy unhealthy in one way? Okay, so like I've spoken to nutritional experts on this, different doctors and stuff, and people are going to give me different opinions. This is what I've gotten. I personally, I don't eat much dairy, or I hadn't eaten dairy at all since I'd gone vegan. So that was like over 2 years ago. Um, but But I don't know, man. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's necessarily unhealthy because some people are going to say that there does bring some health benefits. For example, my girlfriend Anne, she was clearly has some sort of allergy to dairy because when she consumed milk or even the whey protein, it started breaking her skin out. But I think like if you don't have any issues with it, I don't think it necessarily has a problem or is a problem. But I just personally don't do dairy. Favorite YouTuber, man. I think there's a few. Let's see. Like I like my friend Bobby's Perspectives channel. I really enjoy his perspective on things and his attitude, the way he goes about it. I love his videos. His editing is really cool. My buddy Nick Wright, he makes some good content. He's like, to be honest, he has a big following, but at the same time, like I feel like he's so underrated. My buddy Teron Beckham, if there's anyone that's extremely motivational, it's that guy. 100% natural athlete. I mean, just an absolute beast. You have Larry Wheels, who's also extremely motivational. Just what is he, Mr. PR? Mike Rashid. Mike Rashid is another dope channel. He's a good friend of mine. Makes amazing content. Good, I like his mental jewels. Just him talking about positive stuff, and just giving his experience and all that. So I would say those are probably my favorite channels. Take care, Angie. Talk to you soon. I'm glad to have you here tuning in. Let's see. Do you think meal frequency is important? Is it okay to eat fewer times a day but in larger portions? 100%. 100%. You have people that are doing intermittent fasting, eating within a short window. I've done intermittent fasting, gotten great results from it. I don't necessarily feel that consuming 6 meals a day is probably super beneficial. If it works for your schedule, have at it, man. Have at it. But to have bigger meals, um, I think it worked well for me to be able to have bigger meals and eat less often. So maybe doing 3 to 4 meals a day, I found to be pretty good for me. Um, so yeah, I hope that answers your question, my friend. Jothi, please come to India whenever possible. When you come, hit up Kerala in India. I would definitely love to meet you. Where is Kerala, like in regards to, like, let's say Mumbai or something? I would definitely. My goal. I definitely want to come to India, man. I want to come everywhere. My goal is to travel everywhere. I love traveling. All right. If y'all don't have so many more questions, probably cut this off in the next like 10 to 15 minutes then. But just if you guys have any more questions, fill them in for me now while we're here. Does training vary when being enhanced versus natty? 100%. I believe the workload is going to not be as great when you're a natural. You can't push yourself to those higher levels when you don't have the things to be able to support it. There is definitely a difference. I felt it whenever I came off of everything for the extended period that I did. I noticed that my recovery was not the same because when you're using these certain supplements, you become superhuman essentially. Your recovery is like you'll literally, I might be sore for a day and I can probably go back to the gym the next day and train, unless it was like legs. Legs always kills me. I'm usually sore for like 3 to 4 days when I train legs hard. But being natural, like I felt the difference, and it actually humbled me in a way because I couldn't train with the same, with the same mindset. So absolutely, there's a huge difference. Kerala is in South India. Cool. So I'll keep that in mind. South India for sure. How do you suggest training with natty then? Like, is it still good to chase the pump? No. So when you're natural, I honestly feel like you should really, really focus on progressive overload more than anything. Chasing the pump to me, I feel is almost pointless in it to a degree. Like maybe when you're first starting, you can work that way and you'll get some pretty good results. But like after a while, you have to focus on progression. Period. So that's the one thing that will remain the same when it comes to being an enhanced bodybuilder versus a natural bodybuilder. You have to focus on progression. Um, but just know that that progress is going to be slower than if you were to be enhanced. Yeah. So if you're natty, dude, stay natty, man. Just and work it, dude. And you'll make good progress, dude. Don't get me wrong. Um, but you definitely have to be strategic with your lifting. If I feel to be able to get the kind of results that you're looking for. Jonathan, will you be in LA? I'd be on. Oh, 100%. I'm actually looking to come to LA whenever I get back to the States. I have some friends out there that I want to do some collabs with. Hopefully some of the other bodybuilders and stuff would still love to train with me after, because I noticed a lot of the top bodybuilders and stuff that I was friends with like haven't communicated with me so much since the time that I went vegan. I can understand 100% because it's like it becomes like your life in a sense. You're constantly posting about one certain thing. It's like shoving this shit in their face. And I know a lot of these people unfollowed me, but hopefully they'll still be cool with me. I can hit them up and they'll want to collab with me in videos. Um, but I'm definitely coming. I'll let you know. I'll definitely be able to communicate on here and let you guys know when I'm getting to certain places. What would you consider an important exercise to do in order to achieve pull-ups? So like for if you want to get better at pull-ups, then you can do like some pull downs. That'll help you be able to build that particular muscle. But doing the pull-ups themselves is going to be a huge key. So maybe you should start off by doing some the ones that are essentially assisted, maybe even a banded pull-up, so that way you have a little bit of help. Work that, squeeze the muscle hard, and then build from there. But your forearm strength is going to be beneficial or crucial. Your bicep strength is going to be crucial in lift. Thanks, man. Are there any protein powders that you recommend that are heavily whey based? I love the idea of convenience behind it. 100%. My favorite, I talked about this earlier, was Planta. My buddy Mike Rashid sells it. And I'm not just like trying to just sell a product because he's my friend. I only speak about things if I truly believe in it. I really like them. But the Planta protein was amazing. It tasted freaking great. And he came out with a cupcake flavor, sprinkled cupcake flavor that I have yet to try, but that just sounds really good. I had chocolate. I had this one waffle flavor. I can't remember the exact name of it, but dude, get that one, dude. That was, whew, oh man, that was to die for. Seriously, I, if I had a protein that tasted that good, I can easily do 3 shakes a day, no problem. Sam, thank you for all the content, videos, and answering the questions. Hey, happy to have you on, brother. Till next time, my friend. Jaffe, does cheat meals affect your body? I've heard people telling that it's healthy. Yeah, you can have like cheat meals or just even like higher calorie days in general. It will, like especially if you follow in low calories for an extended period of time, it will help with like lectin levels and just be able to build your hunger. I like to implement them so that your body doesn't really adjust to a low calorie diet too much. So I'll do like one higher calorie day or a day with a cheat meal of some kind or lots of carbs. I'll do this with my clients too, just carb cycle. Um, but that really does help. It does help with, it gives a nice break too from the diet, but also helps with the results as well. Because then you're also filling in your glycogen stores, especially when you're depleting over an extended period. It almost makes you appreciate food even more too. Brian, absolutely, my friend. Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. Just it's Ambrosia Collective, I believe, is the website. Check it out. Check it out, man. You're gonna love it, dude. It's really freaking good. What do I charge for training splits routines? Um, right now, I'm only charging $50 for just little work for the customized workouts. So you can hit me up on my website. Like I said, fill out the questionnaire. Let me know what you're looking for, and I will be able to help you. All right, let's get. I'm gonna be on here for like another 10 minutes. So whatever you guys have left to ask, I hope I didn't miss anything. Like I said, I'm here to help. So if not, we'll probably cut this off here shortly. D nice, excellent live, Jonathan. You're a beautiful spirit, great support. Yes. All right. Well, have a good night, D nice. It was wonderful to have you on. Italian princess. Just wanted to say hi. Well, thank you for chiming in. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off now, guys. I really do appreciate those who have stayed on the entire time and have tuned in general. You guys are awesome. Like I mentioned before, I'm gonna look to do these more often. So continue to tune in. Again, I'm here to help. I'm here to, just be, whatever it is that you need help with, I'm here to fucking offer that. So hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. I know it's late back home, so have a good night's sleep. Have a great, great week coming up. And yeah, until next time, everybody. One more thing. Vegan initially followed you because of the huge vegan athlete, but I'm not the type of person that would let diet change a person's personality. Man, well, I appreciate you being here, brother. Seriously, man. You're awesome as well. Much love, guys. But anyways, I'm going to tune out. Peace out. Until next time.